Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Brian's Horror Corner, and welcome to this Simpsons Treehouse of Horror video review as part of my September series. Today, we're going to take a look at the eighth Simpsons Halloween special, number 8 from season 9 of the show. Overall, episode 182 that aired on October 26, 1997. 5FO2 for you stat nerds at home. So, this Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode opens with like a Fox censor guy who's it's like cutting everything out of their Halloween special show, and he says we're going to make it rated TVG, and then he ends up getting stabbed by like a sword or a knife that's on the wall or something, if I remember right. It's kind of a funny bit, kind of throwing shade at the censors who like to pick on the Simpsons quite a bit with the content of their show and the language and everything like that. So that was sort of the introduction for this Simpsons Halloween special number 8. No wraparound, of course. So our three segments we have are the first one is the Omega Man, which of course is based on the Omega Man, the Omega Man in this case. All these are directed by Mark Kirkland, by the way. This one's written by Mike Scully. So this is basically about Homer's looking into like a bomb shelter. Because there's talk of war between France and Springfield because Mayor Quimby's kind of had a beef or said something about the France president of France. So everybody's kind of preparing. So Homer's in this bomb shelter, eating the food and checking it out. And then, of course, France sends a bomb, drops on Springfield, and Homer's protected by being in the bomb shelter. He comes out, and everybody's basically just a skull of them former selves because it just wiped out everybody. So for a little bit, you kind of see Homer going through the town, and at first he's really devastated that everybody's gone, and then he starts to enjoy it, dancing naked in church and stuff. But it kind of goes from there. He realizes not everybody's quite dead as it would seem, and I thought this segment was decent. It has some good humor in it, some decent comedy. This is kind of where the show though was starting to get a little bit off the rails, in my opinion. It kind of lost any groundedness that it had. Um, but yeah, it's decent. I did laugh at some of the jokes, especially some of the Homer stuff. It was pretty good, and kind of the resolution at the end where it looks like it's going to go one way, and it kind of doesn't. And I thought that was pretty funny. So that's the first segment we get. Then we get Fly versus Fly. This was written by David X. Cohen. Of course, this is a takeoff on The Fly by David Cronenberg from 1986, and basically Homer ends up going to that I always forget like the science geek guy in town with the thick glasses. I forget his name. I'm just going to call him the science nerd. But basically he's having like a garage sale or something, and Homer buys this like transporter thing for like 35 cents, I think, and there's like two different transporters so he can go upstairs without actually having to walk up the stairs and stuff, and set one by the refrigerator and one by the couch so he can reach his hand through there to get a beer without having to get up, that kind of stuff. And of course Bart thinks it would be a great idea to turn into a human fly, more of like a superhero than it actually ends up turning out to be. And so he finds a fly, he takes him in there with him, and it doesn't quite go the way he thought it was going to. This one is okay as well. There's some decent jokes here. The concept is interesting. Taking off on the fly, which is just a classic '80s David Cronenberg movie. Um, yeah, it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either. It's pretty decent. And then the final segment is Easy Bake Coven. This is written by Ned Goldreyer. Goldreyer, yeah. This is basically kind of a folk tale where the Simpsons are basically involved in like a folk tale horror segment, if you will, where they're back in the old days where basically the town, everybody's accusing all the women of being a witch, and they basically burn them at a stake, and then they accuse Marge of being a witch. So they push her off a cliff, and yeah, it doesn't quite go the way that you think it's going to. But this one's a good Halloween one. It's definitely like the most Halloweeny one of the three, if you want to say. There's some good jokes too as it relates to Homer and even Patty and Selma and Marge to a certain extent, the Flanderesses. Um, and it kind of gives us an idea of how Halloween came to be, at least as far as what the Simpsons are telling us. So, which is basically scaring people for candy instead of eating their children idea. So, yeah, this one I actually enjoyed. I thought this was a pretty good one. Like I said, Halloween related. Some good jokes. There's one particular joke at the end where after they've accepted the fact that these witches have, instead of eating children, have scared everybody into creating Halloween as we come to know it. And Homer's basically egging a house, and then Lisa points out an obvious to him, and he kind of turns on her and yells, "She's a witch!" And they all chase after her. It's just so Homer, especially at this point in the show's at this point in the series where Homer becomes more of a jerk than a little bit absent-minded as he was the first 5 or 6 seasons. But anyway, yeah, those are the three segments. So overall, as an episode, I would say this is a step above the seventh Treehouse of Horror, which I was not a big fan of. If you saw my review video for that one, but it's certainly still not to the level of like 4, 5, and 6, the ones right in the middle there. But this one I thought was pretty good overall. If I had to rank them, I would actually say Easy Bake Coven would probably be number one. Then I would probably say I'd probably go the Omega Man number two, and then Fly versus Fly number three. It just Fly versus Fly. Just there's nothing scary about it. The jokes didn't land quite as well. It had some gross moments, some interesting ideas, but it fell a little bit flat to me overall. So that would be my ranking of the sequences of this segment. So yeah, that's my review for Treehouse of Horror, Simpsons Halloween Special 8 from season 9 of The Simpsons. Go ahead and comment down below if what you guys think of this particular Treehouse episode. Do you like it more than I do, less than I do? How would you rank the segments? Please comment down below. Please make sure to like this video and hit the little notification bell down below as well, so you don't miss any of my upcoming review videos for this series. And be sure to subscribe to my channel as well down below, so you don't miss any of my great horror content that I have coming up. We're getting close to October, and my 31 Days of Halloween Horror series that's going to be coming up. I'll have an intro video on that before the end of September, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope everybody's doing well, but stay scared. Bye.